What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new YouTube video. On today's menu we had a heavy deadlift session as well as my last squat session from Saturday later in the video. Let's discuss deadlifts first. The key cues for me on this day were to apply consistent pressure throughout my pulling setup and pull the weights off the floor very patiently. I tried to considerably slow down the pace at which my hips would usually shoot into the bar. And I would say that through the slower setup, the amount of so-called slack, so the amount of bar I was able to pull off the ground before the weight actually left the ground, was less than normally, just because I'm not used to setting up and applying pressure for so long. On the other hand though, my quote-unquote old setup was also not as consistent and led to several misscrews. And here I was able to get into a way better position off the start, which allowed me to gain momentum and speed through the lift. This was, by the way, also a PR tie of my previous top set 5 PR from my last block, so very stoked to see where we will end up next week. I have to mention though that my body is starting to feel a little bit beat up. Mind you, this is my 5th training week this block with 1 more week to go. Especially the addition of slowly needing to start with equipped squats takes toll on my central nervous system since I'm not used to such high loads. Anyways, deadlifts went well, and also my backoffs I could mostly do pain-free. I still have to keep my sleeves on for basically every second I spend in the gym, but that helps tons in alleviating pain and reducing instabilities. It really gives me hope to bite through this prep for 2 back-to-back comps and get some solid numbers in. After deadlifts, the only thing I also filmed on this day was a nice weighted dips PR. This was very pleasant since I have not done dips in a while and I have not been training them until this block again. Then we jump into the Saturday equipped session, and man, equipped powerlifting in a commercial gym is really an additional mental challenge to train at. But we will get the work done, so 260 was the chosen top set of today's workout. And mind you, my straps are still down. To give you a perspective what this means, last nationals when I competed equipped, the highest I went with my suit straps down was, I believe, 265 for a triple. And they were pretty heavy. However, the following week I put my suit straps up and I did top triples with 285. So the tension that will be additionally created through the stiffness of the suit adds some amount of kilos on top. And today the top set of 260 for 4 moved very well, and the strength gains that I made on my raw squats were showing up despite my knee injury. My goal will be to hit 270 for 4 next week, and then, ladies and gentlemen, we can almost start the next block of triples at 300. It will be absolutely insane. And before I get my surgery for my injured knee, I want to see really how far I can push with a knee that would technically need complete replacement, but there are no excuses. The backoffs were raw to keep some amount of core strength, and they were surprisingly heavy, indicating that I'm starting to drive my body into a performance wall if my block continues any longer. The problem is, if your block is too long, you will accumulate too much fatigue on your central nervous system, as I mentioned earlier, and the performance itself, or the power you gain, the strength you gain, will be harder to call upon during the lifts from session to session. After squats, we continued with board presses, and guys, to be honest, board presses emphasizing the upper part of a pressing movement and weighted dips stressing the lower part of the chest really have carried my bench to a new level, and the reduced range of motion on board presses allow me to train specifically the upper part of the range during a bench press where you traditionally are also stronger. This means you are able to handle more total load without sacrificing form or tension on the bench, and for me it also keeps my shoulders in check. Strategically, it is even smarter for people who do equipped powerlifting, and that is also where I believe this exercise comes from. If you are in a tight bench shirt, the lower part of the movement hurts you the most because the stiff fabric cuts into your skin, while the shirt also supports you the most. However, on the upper part, the stiffness and tension of the bench shirt will support you less and less until you eventually have to lock elbows with your own power. This means I not only use this exercise to increase my raw bench, but also get a huge carryover, or hopefully huge carryover, into equipped powerlifting. The top set for today was at 172.5, moving them very, very fast for a set of 5. And this really surprises me at this point, because just a couple of months ago I believe my board press PR was around 160, but equally, if not heavier than today's bench. I might try 180 kilos very soon for a set of 5. That is roughly 400 pounds, I believe, 397 or something like that. So it is getting very, very close to the 400 pound mark, for reps, mind you. To finish the session off, I did my usual deadlifts at the end of the workout. The Romanian deadlifts really have helped me so far to reduce fatigue in my lower back and take some pressure off my hips and knee. I also do them fairly light with the main goal of staying as tight as possible and really compact and letting the posterior chain do most of the work. Honestly, my hamstrings probably also got decent growing boost off of doing that. That being said, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. I wish you all the love, all the power. Have a good one.